Nearly 200 years ago, a man survived the Australian coast with nothing but what he could build. No maps, no rescue. Today, one man wants to find out if that kind of survival still works. It starts with a tree and a canoe that cannot fail. Mike is an adventure filmmaker and a former military pilot who loves taking on extreme, hands-on projects. This story begins when a massive tree log, nearly 50 years old, is delivered straight into his backyard. This log comes from the city of Newcastle, New South Wales, where old trees are removed for public safety reasons. As soon as it arrives, the bark is stripped away to prepare the log for its transformation. The interior is carefully hollowed out to shape the canoe's inner cavity. At first, Mike uses only hand tools, proving he can craft the canoe with pure skill and patience. Later, he switches to power tools like chainsaws and electric grinders to speed up repetitive work. Every cut, scrape, and carve reveals more of the canoe's natural beauty hidden inside the aged timber. To remove woodworms, he begins a controlled burning process, carefully watching the flames to ensure the wood isn't damaged. After shaping the main body, Mike continues refining every curve until the canoe feels perfectly smooth to the touch. Each pass of the tool removes tiny imperfections, revealing the beautiful grain beneath the surface. The shaping process demands patience, precision, and an intuitive understanding of how the wood wants to move. Even small mistakes could weaken the structure, so every stroke matters. His goal isn't just to build a canoe, it's to create a vessel worthy of history itself. The idea behind this project goes far beyond woodworking or craftsmanship. Mike wants to place himself in the same situation as a real shipwreck survivor from the 1800s. That survivor was James Moriel, a man who endured one of the most remarkable survival stories in Australian history. In 1846, Moriel was traveling aboard a ship called the Peruvian when it struck a reef near the Great Barrier Reef. The shipwreck left him and several others stranded off the northern coast of Queensland, with no way to reach civilization. Moriel and his companions were forced to rely entirely on the land and sea. After months of hardship, Moriel became the only one to survive long-term by joining a local Aboriginal tribe. He lived among them for 17 years, adopting their customs, language, and deep respect for nature. His story became a bridge between European settlers and Aboriginal Australians, showing how two worlds could coexist. Inspired by this story, Mike aims to relive that experience through his own modern-day expedition. He plans to paddle a handcrafted canoe for 1,500 kilometers along the Great Barrier Reef. The journey will span 3 months of raw, off-grid living in some of the world's most untamed regions. From crystal-clear reef waters to dense mangrove swamps and mountainous jungles, every day will bring new challenges. He intends to live entirely off the land, catching fish, collecting rainwater, and sleeping wherever nature allows. It's not just a physical test, it's a mental and spiritual exploration of survival, solitude, and connection to the wild. The project merges adventure, filmmaking, and history into one powerful story of human endurance. before the adventure begins, the canoe itself must be flawless. Building a dugout canoe by hand requires immense patience and an eye for microscopic detail. The slightest imbalance in thickness can affect how it floats or tracks through the water. Mike constantly measures and listens to the sound of his tools slicing through the timber. The challenge is both physical and mental. It's long, slow, and unforgiving work. One wrong move could split the hull or ruin weeks of progress. Beyond skill, it takes emotional endurance. The ability to stay calm when the process feels endless. Knowledge of wood species, moisture content, and grain direction becomes essential for success. It's not just about tools, it's about intuition, resilience, and creative problem solving under pressure. Meanwhile, outriggers are added to give the canoe extra stability when facing unpredictable ocean waves. These long wooden arms extend from the sides, balancing the canoe even in rough, choppy waters. The design comes from ancient seafaring traditions, where outriggers were essential for open ocean travel. Each outrigger acts like a counterweight, preventing the canoe from tipping when waves hit from either side. Once secured, the canoe instantly feels more stable, ready to face stronger currents and heavier winds. When building a dugout canoe, safety always comes first. Protective gear is essential. Eyes should be covered with safety goggles to guard against flying wood chips and dust. Hands must be protected with strong gloves, especially when using chisels, axes, or power tools. Loud machinery like chainsaws requires ear protection to prevent long-term hearing damage. Now it's time to make the mast, one of the most important parts of the entire canoe. Mike chooses bamboo poles because they're lightweight, flexible, and incredibly strong for their size. Each pole is measured, trimmed, and smoothed to achieve the perfect balance and height for the canoe's proportions. The sail is carefully sewn by hand using durable fabric, strong enough to endure the wind without tearing. Rope lines are attached to secure the sail tightly to the mast, ensuring steady control even during sudden wind changes. Once everything is assembled, Mike raises the mast and lets the sail catch its first breath of air. final finishing details are completed with care before heading out to sea. At this stage, the hull is already quite thin, so every fastening nail has to be carefully planned. A simple tool for drilling pilot holes is essential to prevent the wood from splitting when the nails are driven in. The wooden panels are fitted carefully, adding strength and locking the entire hull in place. Safety-related details are just as important, because offshore no one can predict what might happen. Hatches are sealed tightly, creating a sheltered space that offers enough protection in worst-case situations. A bamboo auxiliary canoe is also built to serve as additional support when needed. The canoe is ready. No more assumptions, no more tests. Just the sea and the journey ahead. If you'd like to follow the rest of this journey, support Mike by subscribing to his channel. The link is in the description below.